What is up? Welcome to another edition of Wrestling Thursday. I, of course, am your host, Suji. I am back. The chair has been filled. Please reintroduce yourself to those who are unfamiliar.
Yep, I am Moose or Heathen Moose on Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Post about anime, gaming, and lots of wrestling takes. And I am an AEW fan if we're going to vote AEW or WWE.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. That's why there's only one wrestling companies out there.
Oh, absolutely.
Speaking of wrestling companies, usually I do this in the middle or the end of the podcast, but let's just try something different. I am going to give you five names, and
Mm-hmm.
you are to tell me your opinion, your honest opinion.
All right.
Darby Allin.
Potential. He, personally, I'm not a fan, but you can't say he doesn't work his ass off.
Well, before we continue, elaborate on why you are not a fan.
If it is a regular wrestling match, I don't find him super believable. If it's a hardcore match, yeah, he's great at those. But if it's just one on one, I don't see the believability because he's diving and that's about it. Otherwise, it's moves that it's very clear the other guy is doing most of the work to move him around to hit them. And he's not as believable, even as someone like Rey Mysterio, who was going around doing all the different luchador moves. As much as
That guy.
as much as you hate him, you look at him, you look at Juventud, you look at Dean Malenko, other guys that were smaller, that were more believable than Darby,
So you're saying Darby Allin is a smaller version of Mankind?
with less mic skills. Yeah.
Damn. Okay. Okay. I'm liking how we're starting off there. All right. 12 belts, Monet.
Undisputed, one of the best women in the world, and arguably the best of the four horsewomen.
Okay. Willow Nightingale.
Future world champ, easy.
Hook.
Potential. Again, they need to book him better, but he could be long term a pillar.
Hangman Adam Page.
Our champion, our world champion. And funny enough, to speak on Hangman, I saw someone put out that the was it Ice Fears Hangman sign was taken from a crowd. That fan got mail from Hangman, and it was autographed T-shirts.
Oh, that's dope.
Our world
That's dope. I like that.
champion.
Well, let's pump the brakes on Al because everybody knows the true world champion is MJF. But well, that's neither here nor there. But from what I'm aware of, I know there is a tag match for the women on AEW tomorrow. Athena and 12 Belts Monet are supposed to be tagging for the to advance in his women's tag tournament. Tell me how you feel about this tag tournament, how it's shaping out, and your prediction.
Again, I think the winner eventually is going to be Tony and Mina to give it that star power out the gate, and then hopefully drop it to like KJ. But Mercedes Athena, I think it's good because you can use that to segue possibly for them to have a rivalry with Forever Champ Athena and 12 Belts Monet. I don't see them winning. I see maybe they go toward the end. Um, but I don't see it happening. I don't see the long term storytelling there. Especially when you have TJ in there, you have Megasis and Marina Shafir, you have Willow and Harley. Like you have some solid tags in there. I just don't see it happening for them.
Okay. Is there anything else on Dynamite that's coming up that people should be looking forward to?
Honestly, I don't need to give a reason to watch week to week. Go in there, give it a test. It's a buffet. You'll find a little bit of everything. You have comedy, you have lucha, you have respectful partnerships with other wrestling promotions that you won't see on the Fed. Um, you're gonna see what the wrestlers actually think of themselves, and usually a better version than their WWE counterpart. Although Blake Monroe, great intro, I think Mariah May is better than Blake Monroe.
I like Blake Burrow's theme song. Not
It's
not
amazing.
ashamed to say it. Right, right, right. All right. I'm glad it's not me. See, this is a safe place here. It's a safe place here. I was scrolling through TikTok and I had seen somebody was playing it. And I was just like, oh yeah, this is a this is a banger. I like this.
Dude, it's the same thing. Alexa Bliss had banger intro. Maria Kanellis back in the day, banger intro. Lita, Trish, Victoria, banger intros.
I had a thread about that on TikTok about theme songs. It's kind of interesting to see people's. I see someone like Michelle McCool's, which I was like, okay, that's interesting.
Or
Interesting
was it
one.
Ernest the Cat Miller, who ended up his theme was given to Brodus Clay.
I'm like, oh, mama. Good times. We just had Saturday night's main event happen. We had four matches. We had technically two new champions. Let's see. We had Cody Rhodes defend his WWE championship against Drew McIntyre, who was once again screwed by corporate Cody and his cheating ways. He had to cheat again to beat Drew McIntyre. Drew deserves better.
Drew's cheated. It's rigged. You have corporate
Uh,
Cody again acting like a heel.
and nobody wants to talk about it. Oh well, he was frustrated. Well, Drew brought it. So two wrongs make a right all of a sudden. Okay, interesting. But whatever, whatever. I'm not here to judge. I know I'm judging partially, but I'm not here to judge.
I'll judge for you. It's bullshit.
It is. It is. Drew McIntyre carried the COVID era basically on by himself. Was champion with nobody there to appreciate him, and then fans come back and they're like, "Yeah, thank you, Drew. Yeah, we just need to go ahead and go put these guys over, put Roman over, and Cody over, and Roman over again, put Cody over, put Punk over." It's like if Drew went anywhere else, he'd be world champion.
Drew is a legitimate crash out. He earns it.
Facts. Um, then we had Jade Cargill versus Tiffany Stratton for the WWE Women's Championship, and this was basically a squash,
Mhm.
which would have needed to be. Jade looked like she was in her element, being a heel. Just I love the triple power bomb she did. I thought she looked good. WWE. Well, not even just WWE, but wrestling in general. Nerf the babyface because you got to nerf the babyface in championship matches. But what did you think of this?
I think honestly that they couldn't do anything besides a squash match. If they tried to make it competitive, I think it would show. Again, I don't think Jade is up to par for world champion level as far as her matches go. So keeping it short, simple squash match was the right call. And as it worked out later, I think it worked out to give Punk and Jay more time since main event seems a bit gassed once he got to the ring.
I mean, he couldn't channel his inner Jacob Fatu. He was no gas, no brakes.
No gas, all breaks. It's that run it back. He doesn't have the energy by the time he gets to the ring.
It's like, you want to run it again? All right, Bruce. Ah. Please.
I need a breather. I need a breather. I need a breather.
He needs to do the Stone Cold, where he goes up and just somebody just tosses him a bottle of water. He just sits there, just like a bottle of water.
He needs something. He was gassed from the jump.
Before we get to that, we cannot gloss over the true main event of Saturday night's main event. It was Penta and that Bulgarian Rusev and the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time, the greatest Mysterio
I
of
want
all
to add,
time.
he
Okay,
won clean. He did not cheat. Penta used
he's
it.
never cheated. He never cheated. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I'll give him credit. He can cheat when he wants to cheat, just like Eddie did back in the day, and it's good and it's entertaining. He didn't cheat to win. Penta tried to cheat and still lost.
Yeah, but nobody wants to talk about Penta using a hammer in this match. He has no disqualification match, but where's the honor in
I don't
that?
know.
And
It's hidden
know,
behind his mask.
and speaking of Dom, don't you feel bad for him? His dad was so jealous of his own son. He's copying his look. He's coming out there stealing Dom's spotlight, attacking Dom. Like, how bad does he want to be Dom? Like,
To be fair,
mm-hmm.
at least this can set up for a clean big win for Dom over Ray. At
Now,
least.
do you think it whenever that match happens, it's obviously going to happen? Do you think it's for the AAA title or the IC title?
I think it's for AAA because Ray didn't really ever have a chance at that one just based on when the promotion started. He's already had a couple runs with the IC belts. I think it'll be AAA, especially because it seems like Vikingo is not popular in AAA, but Ray is.
Yeah.
So I think that'll give him a shot. But I'm calling it now because I've seen how they book things and I've seen both of them talk on interviews. I think this is going to end in a mask versus hair match.
I think this. I do agree with that, and it should be at WrestleMania, and this should be Ray's last match.
Absolutely. And it should
I think
be Ray losing, giving up the mask, and leaving.
right. Let's not forget when they wrestled a few years ago. Ray cheated and used a belt on Dom, and the referee did nothing about it. But
Mm-hmm.
again, I'm just here to point out the injustice of it all.
Dom deserves better.
I agree. I know we're just kind of jumping all over the place here, but we can talk about Punk and Jay. I didn't care for the match
I don't
personally.
think most people did.
What was weird? It was like you know how like you play a game against somebody and like there's a skill level gap between you and whoever you're playing against.
Yeah.
It was like Punk, Jay. I was just like it should be the other way around.
I just, I've said it on this podcast before. I don't get the J hype outside of the intro, and I will add to this. I think it's weird when people hand him their child and or baby to yeet with him. That's fucking weird. Hang on to your kids. But this man,
Wrestling us wrestling fans are weird. To be fair,
yeah, for Jay's safety and your kids, stop handing him kids. Um, but
oh shit!
look, he got popular off being off his ass at a press conference. That's not the person I'm handing my kid during a show. Um, outside of that, again, this man, intro, tired, let's run it back, can't keep up with Punk, and as much as I am a Punk fan in ring, he works a slower style because he's older, he's been through some shit, and Jay is still gassed off of that. He doesn't have the storytelling, he doesn't have the promo. I don't understand this fixation with him outside of 4 letters, 1 word, yeet. I just don't get it.
Well, it's forward.
Uh-uh.
Yes.
The man sounds like he's crying the whole time. I'm good.
So moving on to Monday Night Raw. We had CM Punk celebration. Logan Paul comes out. Logan Paul gets beat by Division and it sets up for the predictable main event of Punk and Jey Uso teaming up against Division because Division was main. Before that, as we mentioned, we talked about Dom and Ray stealing Dom's spotlight per usual. We also had an interesting tag match with Stephanie Velcro, according to Naomi, and Bella versus the Judgment Day, which Roxanne won, and that somehow propelled Raquel to a number one contenders match against Stephanie. Um, I don't hate it. I'm just confused on how Raquel got it. But
See,
interesting little note before we continue, I want to mention this. There was an interesting little note where before the tag match for the Judgment Day for the men, not Raquel, excuse me, Roxanne and Dom were sitting down on the couch talking, and there was this picture of Liv Morgan in the background, which looks like they're foreshadowing Liv might be back with each other. But your thoughts?
so I appreciate Raquel getting a shot because honestly, I feel like she is underappreciated. She has solid matches. She's decent when she needs to talk. She can work with just about anybody, any style, and look credible. She's strong as fuck, and I appreciate her getting the shot. She doesn't normally get the single shot. But as far as Liv coming back, I hope they don't just put her back with Judgment Day. Only because she she doesn't need Judgment Day at this point. When she initially got back with them, this story was there for the revenge tour. It helped prop her up and keep her at the main event level. I don't think she needs it now. And especially with the Americanos, allegedly, we know who they are, and Judgment Day kind of going against each other. I don't see putting Liv back in there while they're undergoing this instability because it's only going to either make it worse or just kind of be boring, which with Judgment Day would not be surprising with how they've been written. But I think that you don't need Liv there. Keep working the separation angle. Honestly, even if Liv is cleared now, I would hold off on bringing her back until the Rumble. Because if you hold her back until the Rumble, that's going to be a big pop.
You want to hear a wild prediction that I thought of when I saw this?
Shoot.
I could see whenever Liv comes back that Judgment Day kicks her and Dom out of Judgment Day.
I could.
I could see them beating down Dom. Liv comes out and be like, hey, what the fuck? And Raquel and Roxanne beat down Liv and kick them both out of Judgment Day.
My only conflict with that is I don't see Raquel turning on Liv. Because there's not a story for it. I could see Roxanne jumping her. She tried to steal her man. She took her spot in Judgment Day, took her tag title, for that short amount of time. But Raquel and her are real life friends. They had no issue before she got injured. I feel like that's the jumping the shark. But I could see Roxanne jumping her. Maybe that gives Raquel more conflict, and that adds to the instability of everything. I just don't see her attacking.
That's fair. That's fair. Let's see what else we had going on. We had Bailey and Lyra Valkyria versus Asuka Kairi Sane. Solid match. Solid
I mean,
match.
those four don't know how to put on a bad match. To be fair,
Yeah. I mean, I've had quite a few guests on this show who absolutely hate Lyra, which I'm like, there's other people I would probably want to see less. But I mean, I don't dislike her. I'm not like, oh,
but
we also go ahead.
and I think I may be a hot take for this. I think Lyra is going to be better than Becky long term because overall she has better match quality. She's strong as shit, so she has more options as far as moves in the match. She's already great storytelling wise with the NXT title no DQ match and the no DQ match she had with Becky for that women's IC belt. She's already getting more comfortable on the mic. I think the only hangup people have is her height, which doesn't make sense in that division, and her talking because people don't like accents. And I mean, she's already comfortable talking on the mic, and Becky's good, but like it took Becky a while to get there.
That's that's true. Speaking of Becky, we had before this match, we had Becky kind of crashing out a little bit. Talked about Mexico being famous for their TV shows being on meth, which I chuckled. I chuckled. Like that's kind of funny. Setting up and building up Becky versus Maxine in the future. What have you thought about Maxine as a lead?
Oh, I think she's fantastic. I've always enjoyed her. I thought her over the top, like facial expressions and talking, even back when she was with, Eminem and um, LA Knightbacks when he was Dupree. Um, I thought they were great. I thought she's great. I think she's really improved in the ring since she's worked with Natalia so much. I think she's got one of the best kip ups in WWE.
Mm,
That kip up with
mm,
the slow motion finish is great. I don't care who you are. Like you could
uh,
work that with some heel shit. You can work that some baby face shit. I wish she didn't do the caterpillar anymore. Take that out of
Agreed.
take that out of your repertoire. But
Please.
she's good. Honestly, switch her finisher. Give her the fisherman suplex. She's got a beautiful bridge. Keep it classic.
I want to talk about this kip up thing because I personally love kip ups personally. So this is a fun topic. Now Maxine's is nice, but Charlotte has a really nice one. You can't forget Drew McIntyre. He has a really good one. EO's another good one.
I would say hers is better than Charlotte's, but
Oh,
but I feel like Drew's got a solid kip up, but I think his bigger thing isn't so much that he can do a kip up, it's he can do it at the size he is. Because it's a regular kip up. It's a good solid kip up. It's just impressive because the man's fucking huge.
yeah, he's like what 6'5", 6'6", 280, something like
Yeah,
that.
that's why it's impressive. Maxine's is impressive. It's the slow motion stand up, which I think is going to build on the crowd way quicker than people realize.
When when I used to wrestle, I used to practice like when we did training. I used to practice. That thing was hard. I started doing it late, and I was like, "Oh, this is cool." like when I finally did it, I was like, "Oh shit!" And then I never did it again after that because I'm like, I ain't trying to fuck it up in the middle of it.
I would also add one of the best kip up moments was SummerSlam '02, Rock and Brock. The double kip up during their match is still a great go to.
Rock had a really good one too. Can't forget that. Rock had a really good one.
Great kip up, shitty sharpshooter.
I won't fight you on that. Who do
The
you
Rock.
think? Okay, question. Speaking of shitty sharpshooter, who do you think had the worst finisher? I think I'm gonna make this a topic on my TikTok.
I mean, Randy Orton MVP, the Ozone. That one's always bad. So you're just slamming your own knee. Um, Big Show's WMD is only believable because of how big he is. It's still lame as fuck.
But it works though. Like I mean, if you see this my Big Show punch you in the face, you're going down. Like there's
Yeah, yeah. Give it to anybody else. It don't make sense. Um, I would honestly say one of the worst finishers I've ever seen is the zigzag, and I'm probably gonna get hate for that. Only because, again, you're taking more of a bump than the other guy, and it's just a backward RKO anyway. The zigzag's bad. That's why I'm glad Dolph went to the super kick, because that zigzag's horseshit. And now Miles Bourne in NXT has it, and it still looks like dog shit.
Okay, okay, you're right. You're right. I was thinking, I was like, you got the Hogan leg drop. That's pretty bad.
Any like springboard cutter, I will say till I'm blue in the face, look shitty.
You
Just
don't like
because
Javon's springboard cutter?
no, I like his top rope moves, his like 450s. I like it, but you're jumping 10 feet in the air to land on your back and grab the guy on the way down. You're hurting yourself more than him. Same thing with Cody, who misses it 90% of the time,
You remember when him and Carmelo both went for cutters in their match in SmackDown a couple weeks, like a year ago, I think it was.
and they both missed each other. Yeah, again,
That's wrestling for you.
it's almost as bad as the springboard stunner Cena pulled out.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Great segue, by the way. Speaking of Cena, the 16-man tournament is beginning to take shape. Next week on Raw, we have Damian Priest versus Rusev, which I like because I thought it was just going to be Raw versus Raw, but they're mixing it up. Two guys that are power. I like this matchup. And then we also have Sheamus versus Shinsuke on Raw next week. And on SmackDown, Nicholas will draw for his portion of it. But what do you think of this concept of them drawing the names as we go?
It's a mixed bag. I like the fact that they're doing a tournament. I like the fact that they're including NXT and people not in the company. Gives me a little bit of hope that we'll have Edge for Cena for the last match because that would make my heart happy. But my main issue with it is in one segment they built this up and immediately tore down half of their logic because they said it's going to be people that have not faced Cena and then immediately included Sheamus and Rusev. He's already
I don't remember hearing that part.
in the
I,
segment they talk about people that haven't stepped up he hasn't dealt with before and then immediately cut to Sheamus and Shinsuke and Damien and Rusev and I'm like we had a whole WrestleMania segment with the Tank and an I Quit match
right.
with Shane with Rusev. You had Sheamus winning his WWE title initially from Cena. It should be fresh faces if you're doing this step up challenge. And it, for my logic, the only person from Raw or SmackDown, or people I should say from our SmackDown that should be in the tournament, are newer faces that haven't had the chance to work with him. As much as I love Shinsuke and his match with Sheamus is going to be great, I think it should be like Dominic Mysterio, Carmelo Hayes, Grayson Waller, New Blood versus the guy on his way out.
I think Dom is probably not going to be in this. At least I'm hoping that's in the Cena versus Dom at Survivor Series. That's just a hope. It's probably not going to happen. I mean, Cena may not have another match until his final match. I know he has 4 total appearances.
If it's not Dom that wins this tournament and Cena's last match, I know who I would want it to be. Who do you want it to be?
Hmm. I would like it to be the Ring General Gunther.
As good
What
as
about
that
you?
is,
Okay.
I want it to be Darula Obafemi. Because what a better way, especially for his character, to make his entrance to the main roster than by taking on Cena in his final match, being the one that steps up and puts his foot, plants the flag, and says, I'm coming for the top guys and I'm starting with Cena. And you could still have a solid match. He doesn't do anything too over the top that Cena can't deal with. And you have him putting someone out on the way out. Because Gunther doesn't need that. Gunther's already record IC belt been world champion twice already. Give Oba that stamp.
I don't hate that. I'm okay with that. I know people are like, oh, I just don't see Cope and whatever he's going by. I don't see it. I don't see Jericho either. It's when I was younger, I liked Cena when he was Doctor Thuganomics, and then after that, I was just not a fan of Cena at all. And as I got older, I appreciated what he did for the kids for the Make a Wish and all the Make a Wishes he does. Now I appreciate him more, and I like it's kind of weird because like you grow up watching these guys when you're younger, and it's like, oh man, these guys will be around forever. But then like Mysterio is probably going to retire next year. AJ Styles is retiring next year. Cena's retiring this year. Samoa Joe could be retiring. So like a lot of these athletes are going to be gone. How does that make you feel as a wrestling fan, seeing some of your childhood favorites or non-favorites tend start to step away from the spotlight?
Uh, I'm gonna be emotional. I already told my wife I'm gonna cry for a lot of these retirements. I was never the biggest Cena fan. I do give him a lot of respect, especially during the Super Cena era. As much as that gets shit on, because that man pulled great matches out of Umaga, he pulled great matches out of Great Khali. Him and Batista at SummerSlam was solid. All the shit he did with Randy Edge is solid. He never. I just don't see the hate other than losing to Kevin Federline. Um, I'm going to be emotional. I'm like, even Shinsuke has talked about retiring at the end of his contract now. Cody's saying he's got one more contract and that he's probably going to, call it quits. Fucking corporate Cody. Um, it's
That
one of,
son of a bitch.
yeah, he came back for the belt and I was leaving. But it's one of those I'm going to be emotional, but at the same time, it's also nice to see them passing the torch because the generation before them didn't fully get to do that. Stone Cold didn't really get to do a full passing of the torch before he left. The Rock just kind of dipped, and now he plays the same character in every movie for the last 15 years. Uh, you didn't really get a lot of that from injuries, from addictions, from health issues, whatever it may be. So it's emotional seeing them retire, but also this is a generation that can do it. That's not super common for generations before.
Yeah, I agree. Like when I heard he was retiring, I was like, huh, interesting. And then the more I saw what he was doing, like matches against Logan Paul, which was really good. His last match against AJ Styles was a banger. His last match against Cody was really good. Most of his matches was really good outside of the WrestleMania match with Travis Scott, but we
Yeah,
can
the trash.
bypass that. Yeah, we can bypass that. We could ignore that. And like the more I sat back and analyzed things as an adult, I'm like, yeah, I am going to miss seeing him because he took a lot of shit and he took it in stride, and some other people, he was so excuse me, allergies, they can't handle negativity in the way he can, and I respect it.
I also think like one thing that I think isn't as appreciated now is how much Cena and the generation before him improved in the ring, even though you could hear them calling stuff in the ring. It gave it better reactions because they were working based off how the crowd felt. They don't do that as much now. Most of their matches, they plan everything out. They try and cut things down if they need to with the ref, but it's everything is kind of worked out beforehand. And that art of feeling what the crowd is giving and working the match through that is, I feel like that's going to be a lost art for a lot of the newer guys. So Cena's last run with that is really putting that on like a focus for me.
Are you as a Cena fan? Are you satisfied with how his last his final run is going to be. And do you think this is his final run, or do you think he'll pop up at a random thing for another match?
I don't think he'll wrestle again. I know he's going to make appearances. I don't think he's going to wrestle again only because he's already got another passion that he's working on with TV shows and movies and things like that where he needs his body to be in good shape and he's already leaned out quite a bit because he knows he's on his way out and he's getting older obviously. But I think he's going to stick. It's not gonna be another match after this year. As far as this run, for the most part, I'm okay with it. Again, WrestleMania was shit. I don't understand him selling his soul to The Rock. I don't appreciate the random flip from heel to face right before going against Cody again, just because no one actually cared about his heel run. I think a few things could have been handled better. Even Logan Paul, I don't think they really needed to put Logan Paul with him for any matches, but at least they let him, talk shit to him. Other
Took
than
the
that,
chains off.
yeah. And I will point this out, Cena, most of his career is better on the mic than The Rock. Because The Rock was good on the mic, but he leaned heavy on catchphrases. Cena didn't need that. He would just walk out and roast you.
Hmm. I have to think about that. That's an interesting. That's really interesting because with Dwayne, you knew you was gonna get something funny 95% of the time. Cena, it was kind of like if he wanted to, he would. With The
For
Rock, I think he just did it a little more naturally, and then Cena was just kind of they kind of put the gloves on Cena. It's like don't kill him, don't kill him. Just let him chill.
my my thing is, if you take Cena and The Rock and you put them in different scenarios, The Rock wasn't as good in serious promo segments. He always had to be a little funny. He had to do the Rock concert. He had to do the This Is Your Life. He had to, do the talk shit and do the impressions. Wasn't as good as being serious on the mic. But if you take either one of them and put them in any other promotion, any other era, are they going to be able to hold their own on the mic? I don't see The Rock being as good on the mic in, the new age with Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels. I don't think he can change his style to be there. Same thing with, the 80s. I don't think he can match it as well. Even now. Whereas I think Cena's good enough on the mic and shown such a spectrum that he can kind of go with anybody. I think The Rock, as good as he is, and he's undoubtedly good on promos, he is heavily boosted by the era in which he was a star.
That's not an unfair argument. That's not an unfair argument. That's a different way to look at it, which is why I like doing podcasts like these and just to be able to sit and hear different perspectives and not have to worry about trolls or people just wanting to argue just to argue, but actually have a conversation.
Right, right.
That's it's refreshing to have wrestling conversations about people being people, so to speak. Now, as we wrap up, you did mention something about talk about greatest intercontinental champions.
Yep. So I'm going to be starting a new segment on my channel where I'm doing fives. Um, so for me, and obviously I want to hear yours. My top five. You're going to have Chris Jericho on there. I feel like he's a name synonymous with it. You're
Agreed.
gonna have you're gonna have Gunther on there at this point. I would put the Miz on there
I
as
mean, we're in
much
a lockstep right now.
to get shit on. I put Bret Hart,
That's fair.
and I think this is the one that's going to get you, Dolph Ziggler.
I agree with 4 of the 5 that you said.
I know you want to put Dom on there.
I'm gonna have to take, and I know I'm gonna get shit for this. But you know what? I don't care. I don't care. We're taking Dom off. We're taking Dom, and we're putting him on the list. Bret Hart, you gotta go. Dirty Dom. Did Bret Hart ever hold the AAA Mega Champion and the Intercontinental Championship? I don't think so.
No, but he was a multi-time WWE champion, and Dom hasn't got there yet.
I mean, I mean, look, first, Dom is a 20-year vet. Okay, he's been in the business for a long time. It's hard when you have your dad working there and he's constantly trying to hold you back and hold back your growth as a champion, as a two-belt
Hey,
champion.
as much as Ray did to Dom, Bret Hart helped Owen, he helped Jim, he helped Brian Pillman, he helped everyone in his family, and name me a better intercontinental title match than Bret and British Bulldog. That man carried somebody who wasn't even in his right mind to one of the best matches of all time and the greatest intercontinental title match of all time.
Some would say that ladder match with Shawn was really good.
It's good. I would still put Bret over it.
That's fair. That like that's fair. But was Bret Hart ever the king of the luchadors?
No,
Hmm.
he was king of Canada. Also, Bret Hart's the king of the ring. Dom is not yet. Bret Hart
He
is an official king.
well see again. Again, Dom had so many struggles he has to go. He has Judgment Day hanging on him. He's without his Liv Morgan. You have this hater of the year, Rey Mysterio, constantly trying to take his shine. It's hard being a Dom Mysterio guy and trying to carry 2 brands and King of Luchadors and the greatest Mysterio ever. And did you hear Rey Mysterio disrespect Dom's dad, Eddie? I feel for the guy.
I think he's going to disrespect the tendies next, that bastard.
Oh, see, now he's going too far. Now we all got to fight with Mysterio. You got to bring him out of the park. Now we got to fight. How dare you? Uh, anyway, is there anything else that you would like to discuss?
I got one last one for you.
What you got?
I'm going to give you 5 names, and
Okay.
one by one, you're going to tell me if you're going to keep them or fire them. You get to keep 3. You have to fire 2.
Keep 3, fire 2. Okay, I like this. Let's go.
Drew McIntyre,
Keep.
Jacob Fatu,
I hate this game. mm, keep.
LA Knight,
Fire.
Jey Uso,
Fire.
Damian Priest.
Yeah, keep David Priest. I
Jacob
like I
Fatu,
like that
got you.
game. I like that. That was fun. I like that. I mean, if you don't mind, I would like to borrow that. If you don't mind.
Absolutely. Just give me a little credit. No.
Okay, hey, I got you. I got you. I'll plug the show.
Hell yeah.
Look, man. Look, as my goal for starting this podcast is not just to sit and talk wrestling, but for us wrestling fans as a community, for our channels to grow like some of these other influencers with all these fans. Like I want to see your page grow. I want to see my page grow. I want to see everybody else's pages grow. And having ideas and conversations like that is a great way to do it.
Rising water raises all boat.
Speaking of plug, go ahead and plug your show and where they can find you and all that good jazz.
Again, I'm on Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all at Heathen Moose. I do wrestling stuff, gaming stuff, and anime stuff.
Right, right. Go follow, give it a watch, support the channel, support my channel as well. Hit all the little buttons and all those little doodads, all the thingy dangles on there, the TikTok and the Instaflam and all that good shit. Sir, I want to thank you for the conversation. It was delightful, and hopefully we can do this again in the near future, maybe next week or something, and we could talk more wrestling. But for now, everybody stay safe, stay blessed, and remember, Rey Mysterio is the most hatingest dad of the year. Goodbye.